If you run sales, whether solo with a team, you know that most of the time isn't actually spent selling. Most of the time is spent prospecting, following up, scheduling, all those kind of things. But what if you had a team of AI agents that could handle all of those things for you? So you or your team could actually focus on what matters the most, which is selling in the end. In this video, I will show you the different 5 AI agents that you can implement for this specific topic and see which are the different functions for each of them. By the way, I'm Ricardo from Uplifted Consulting, and over the past 18 months, we implemented over 50 plus AI implementation for sales and marketing team. In this video, we'll focus on 3 main things. First off, why AI agents are the future of sales ops. Secondly, the 5 kinds of AI agents that you can implement in a sales organization today. And finally, how those communicate with each other. By the end of the video, you will have a full understanding of how AI agents could be implemented for you as a solo sales founder or as a sales organization so that you can focus on selling and you don't have to focus on all the other things around the sales process. Imagine 2 different people that are doing sales. Both are talented, both work hard, but their days are completely different. The first person comes in the office at 9 a.m. They start the first 30 to 60 minutes researching the prospect that they will talk with today. So they will do things such as researching the company website, understanding what they do, researching the LinkedIn, understanding different updates, different things. Try to remember previous conversation with prospects, and they start taking calls at 10:30 a.m. After each call, they need to log the information, they need to draft a follow-up email, and all of these operations add up throughout the day. By the end of the day, they just had 4 quality calls made, and all of their time is spent in coordinating, organizing, and doing activities that are actually not important for them and don't actually move the needle for them. Salesperson B arrives at the office at the same time at 9 a.m., but they can immediately jump in the first call. They already have the information on the prospect that they can use in order to have a great discovery call. After each call, all the data from the call is transcribed. So they have a summary of the call. All the information is added automatically to the CRM, and they can just go on the next call and continue there all day in the following. So at the end of the day, 80% of the time is actually spent selling. This is because the second person has a team of AI agents that help him offload all the activities that are not human to human, so they can just focus on those specific things. Now, let's see these 5 AI agents that could be useful for this process. The first thing to understand over here is that each agent has a specific role, and each role has specific task assigned to them. So, similar to how you would have a job description and different tasks associated with job description, the AI agent path works in the same way. So each specific AI agent would have specific tasks that it would need to focus on. Each of these tasks could be divided into these 3 categories over here. We have an automation process. So this means something that could be a streamlined or an if-then condition. The reason why we have those is that a lot of different things, such as updating CRMs, such as getting information based on a specific criteria, could be deterministic, could be coded in a specific way without relying on automation. And so this increases predictability in the outputs and things of that nature. The other process that we have are everything that is related on AI processes, so categorization, content creation, all those kind of things. And the last component is the human check. So when we need to send something externally, this is where the human comes into place. And it's always important to have a step like this, especially when we need to communicate with people external to the organization. The first AI agent that we have over here is a prospecting agent. So the role of the prospecting agent is making sure that it can find different prospects within the ICP and then establish a first contact. All the different tasks or responsibility that you see here could be applied sequentially, so one after the other, or it could be applied in a separate way depending on when those are used. And this is also how agents can communicate with each other, which is a theme that we will see at the end of the video. Basically, a couple of the focuses of the prospecting agents would be on finding list of leads using specific signals that could be useful for your own business, such as a specific job role, is a company is hiring a specific job role, or a company engages with your LinkedIn content, your profiles, a specific list of LinkedIn searches. Those kind of things are to find the specific signals of specific people. Then you would have part related to filtering based on your ICP. So here you could have a strict filter, which is based on relevant information about size or about industry, those kind of things. Enrichment and verification, where you can find and verify contact information to reach out to those people. And then what you can add over here are two AI processes. One is a categorization process, which is the ICP scorer. So before we add a process to gatekeep that is very general, based on size, based on industry, so like normal parameters. Over here, what you can do is you can get the information of the prospect and use this information to filter further and understand whether this could be relevant for your own company or not. And the last part over here would be the copywriter. So drafting a personalized email, drafting an initial personalized email to send to the actual prospect. And finally, over here, since we are talking about specific information that needs to be sent out externally to the company, the human should always review those kind of processes, especially when you are implementing a system like this for the first time, because you never know what the output is looking like, and making sure that you have someone responsible for the end part of the verification part is fundamental, especially at the beginning of implementing a structure like that and understanding how this can be improved in the future. The second agent over here is a research agent. So while this agent finds different prospects, the research agent is responsible for creating briefs before having calls, as well as researching different information for the personalization, for example. So in this way, you are already seeing how those two agents could be connected within each other. The prospecting agent on one side can find the different persons. The research agent can do a deep research on those persons, find information about their company, information about their LinkedIn updates, and use this information to in multiple ways. Either to create a brief before a call, so that every person who is involved in sales comes prepared to the calls with a clear agenda, clear information about the prospect, clear discovery questions that might be more relevant to them, as well as the copywriting aspect. So with all the research that can be done, this can be funneled directly into the copywriting. Or over here, I added also the angle generator. So the idea of the angle generator is understanding what could be the pain points for that specific person, and then based on that create a couple of copywriting angles that then can be used by the copywriter part in the prospecting agent. The third agent over here is a call analysis agent. I talk about a system like this in one of my previous videos, the 250 versus $25,000 AI system, where we specifically explain how this works. But to give you a summary of how this can be used, here we are analyzing sales calls, and then based on the analysis of the sales calls, we can perform every kind of different operations that we want. So we can create summaries, we can create briefs that can be sent to the SDRs, coaching briefs that could be sent to the manager, and so on. So the idea over here, as you can see, the different processes that we have over here are more AI based processes, because what we are doing is we are taking data which is unstructured. We are taking call data, so a transcript or something like that. And we are analyzing using AI to instruct information from there. So we can either instruct, as we mentioned, summaries, we can instruct the questions, we can instruct objections, and all these things like that. As well as taking the information that we had from the call and then pushing those information directly to the CRM. In this way, what happens is that we remove the time it takes the SDR to manually go into the CRM the information, making sure that the information is always complete and not incomplete. And so we can have access to that and can be used from other agent and from other things as well. The fourth agent is an analyst agent. This is responsible for taking all the information within the CRM, within the call data, and then turn this information into different answers that can be asked by different parts of the business. So an example here could be when you need to do quarterly presentation for the business and you need to pull CRM data from the CRM in order to create graphs, in order to create different things. This could be a core responsibility of the agent, taking the same graphs that you always need to take, crafting those into a format, and then have a slide that you can already have and you can already present potentially, as well as storing all the calls inside. So like for example, when this call analysis agents does the actual review of the calls, it generates different files. Those can be stored and those can be retrieved later on using this insight Q&A, for example. So if you have a specific question about your sales process as a whole, you can ask that to AI chatbot, for example, and what you would get in the end would be different insights based on the different calls which are present within your business. The fifth one that we have is a follow up and nurture agent. This is probably one of the most important ones because a lot of deals are lost because people stop following up with leads. People don't know when to actually reach out again and follow up with leads again. And so this agent is responsible for making sure that you can draft follow ups as fast as possible, as well as having notification when you need to follow up with each specific person correctly. So over here we could have different processes and different things such as the recap email builder. So creating a recap email based on call conversation. And so again, you can see over here how this agent can be used together with the call analysis agent. You can you can recommend some content that you have within your business based on the call. So another core component that creates a one-on-one personalized experience for the buyer, for the prospect, as well as a bunch of other different information such as engagement tracker, knowing when to reach out, and all these kind of things like that. And those are the 5 AI agents that you can have within the business. If you're interested in understanding a little bit more, you can check my other videos, or if you're interested in implementing those within your business, you can schedule a call and we can talk together about how those can be implemented.